to Dan Ray, live from the Window World NightSide Studios on WBZ News Radio.
With me is Dr. Leigh Richardson. We're going to talk about social media warnings. There was an interesting article in yesterday's New York Times in which the Surgeon General of the United States of America said, the title of the article, Dr. Richardson, why I'm calling for a warning label on social media platforms. A lot of my audience might not understand the implications of that headline. Tell us what the Surgeon General means, a warning label on social media platforms.
Well, I think the Surgeon General is trying to create awareness. You know, back in 2023, he issued the same type of alert about loneliness, because the numbers and the statistics are showing that on a society level, we're lonely. And I think that he recognizes the importance of mental health. And there's no doubt about it. There's tons of studies. I mean, in my practice at the Brain Performance Center, I work with families all the time that social media has had a negative impact on, you know, maybe it's a son, maybe it's a daughter, maybe it's both. And I think that the numbers, and I'm definitely believe in the numbers and the research studies, social media is creating anxiety and depression in the adolescent age range. Suicide is the second leading cause of suicide.
Yeah, how would let's talk about just the logistics. How would a warning label work? All of us who are baby boomers remember when the Surgeon General issued the warning on cigarettes in 1964, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that smoking can lead to lung cancer. I think everybody realized it, but it wasn't clear until the government put a warning label on cigarette packages. There are still people who smoke. What are we talking about? Social, a warning labels. So when your kid goes to buy a laptop, there's a warning label on it. Tell us about it.
Well, and you raise a really good point, is because what that means, are parents going to monitor every time a kid gets on a social media? Are you going to open up TikTok and hear ding, 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 ding go off on your kid's phone? Probably not. So I think that the main intent is to create awareness. And for me, I've been aware of the danger of social media for years, but not everybody has. And the statistics show, you mentioned when they put that warning label on cigarettes, it made a difference. And part of me is like, we shouldn't need that. Because mental health is that important to me. But not everybody has access to the same level of information. And if by, the Surgeon General, that's a pretty powerful role. And if someone like that steps up and says, hey, we need to pay attention, people will, that otherwise will not.
You're the founder of the Brain Performance Center. I'm sure there's a lot to it, but give us sort of a background of why you found it, what you have discovered, and how concerned should parents be? I mean, I read the Times article, and it said that the average kid is spending like 3 hours a day on social media. I assume that they're not doing research on Shakespeare during that time.
No, they're not. And actually, they're spending more than 3 hours a day. 3 hours a day is a danger point. Yeah. And I got into the brain performance business as a result of I have twin boys, and when they were in second grade, one of them got hit by a car. The other one watched it, didn't know who I was more worried about, but we got through it until he got into fifth grade. And in fifth grade, I came home one day. I owned a human performance consulting business. And he said, Mom, my brain is broke. Whoa. And, I listened to him, and I'm like, man, you've got this all figured out, don't you? And he's like, yeah, I do. I'm like, okay, well, how'd you figure it out? And I didn't, because I'm the mom.
You're the doctor, too.
Well, I wasn't then, but
okay.
still, I was a powerful, the mom. And he had gotten on the internet, and he had done his research. And I won't even tell you how old my boys are now. This was a long time ago.
Okay.
But he had come, yes, but he had come to conclusions, and that's what made me do a career switch. And, you know, I own the Brain Performance Center. I've owned that since 2009. I've been board certified as a neurotherapist since 2005. And I have seen repeatedly how the difference that you put the brain in a dysregulated state, and emotional trauma does that. And, you know, when you're on social media and you're 14 years old or even 9 years old, and it's a comparative society, oh, my gosh, that's so much better than what I have.
Okay, so
and it doesn't matter.
Let me ask you this question, okay? It sounds to me like you're a tremendous advocate for mental health of young kids. But is the genie out of the bottle? Have we allowed this this I don't want to call it an infection to spread so much within our society? Not that we would have ever prevented it, but have we actually and our kids become slaves to this new technology? A lot of companies have made a lot of money on this, don't get me wrong, but are kids going to pay a price for this for the rest of their lives? That's the question that's in the back of my mind.
Well, and I would love to answer that question. And the answer to that is yes, if we don't do something about it. My biggest concern about addiction for the last 5 years has been phone addiction, social media addiction. Yeah. And I think that the bigger question is, what behavior are we modeling as parents? If you're on your phone, you know, you come home at the end of the day, you pick up your phone and you get on your Facebook and your social media, and your kids see you do it. Oh, what do you think they're going to do?
You betcha.
They're going to, same thing. You know, what I encourage parents to do, I'm not saying make social media go away, because guess what? That ain't going to happen. But get on their social media with them. Help them gauge and help them understand how to react to what they're seeing, so that they can reframe it and put it in a healthier context.
Dr. Richardson, how can folks get in touch with you if they would like to? I don't know if you have a website or just a Brain Performance Center. Where can they go? What can they do?
Well, absolutely. They can find us online. We have the good old-fashioned website, thebrainperformancecenter.com. I'm on LinkedIn, Dr. Leigh Richardson. We're on Facebook. We're all over social media. And I am happy to talk with parents. I offer a complimentary 20-minute consultation just to help parents understand it's a different world their kids are living in.
It is absolutely a different world, absolutely, and I fear where it's going to head, that's for sure. Dr. Richardson, I enjoyed the conversation very much. Thank you so much for your time tonight, and we may have you back periodically just to check on this, because this is a subject that I'm concerned about, and I believe most of my audience is as well. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.